Imagine waking up every morning and walking in your own vineyard. Welcome to the Dream and Inspiration. One of the things that fascinates me is you are living the winemaker's dream.
Absolutely.
Because you have a vineyard in your backyard that you own and farm, but it wasn't always like this. Walk me through and help me understand the epiphany you had many years ago that said, you know what? I want to leave the current stable job with the income that I'm having and just chuck everything into the wind and go make wine. Were you a big wine guy to begin with?
I taught wine education for 15 years, and I had worked in a winery when I was in college. So I'd already fallen in love with wine. My wife, I met her at a winery. So we already had that in common. You know, to this day, I don't know why Bob Bellis said I should be a winemaker. I guess he saw that passion in my eyes and said, you should just follow your heart and don't just sell wine, don't just write about wine or judge wine, become a winemaker.
Then did you have a style of wine in your head that you wanted to create? Did you have a region in the world that you gravitated towards that you wanted to kind of replicate or mimic? What were you after, and then how did you find it?
And so basically I wrote the business plan, I was doing a lot of consulting, and I was on the road a lot, and that's when I realized, that was when I had the epiphany moment, I need to just do it. You know, because we had traveled a lot, I really had fallen in love with a lot of the French wines. Specifically Côte de Rhone and Burgundy, but not Pinot, really Chardonnay from Chablis and Champs-Élysées-Montrachet and all the different Burgundy villages. When I started taking wine classes and started making wine for the first time in 1999 in my garage, I had no idea what I would end up with. I thought, you know, let's see what it will be like. And those first 2 or 3 years of just making wine, I learned so much because I would taste my wine as it's going through fermentation, and then I would taste other people's wines as I visited the wine country and say, can I try your ferments, or can I try your just barreled wines, because I really want to understand what a young wine
should be like at this stage and from a comparison standpoint, from a frame of reference. Fast forward today, you have the dream and you're living the dream. So what is the inspiration production? What are the next phases for the dream? And where do you see yourself in 5 to 10 years?
Well, I think right now I'm happy with my current production. We're at about 1,000 cases annually.
Okay.
It's about what we sell through in a vintage, so it makes sense financially that I'm at that number. I've made more wine and I've understood the economics of that. So really just dialing in the quality, which is what I've been working on over the last couple of years, and that consistency of quality. In terms of portfolio, I said and I swore that I wouldn't make any more Pinot Noir after the 2010 vintage, and some of my customers have really gotten on my case and have said, you need to make Pinot Noir again. You live in Russian River. Right. So this year I am working with a vineyard that I really love the owners, I really love the fruit. It's a balance of 3 clones that I'm in love with. And so I'm making Pinot Noir again. So we do have the Pinot Noir and Chardonnay program, which is our Burgundy program. Of course, I'm growing Chardonnay. We're here in the vineyard. And then in terms of my other wines, I love the Rhone wine. So we'll still have our Syrah. I had substituted Grenache for Pinot Noir, but I'm going to still continue to make that Grenache. Okay. Because I still love the Rhone varietals and love what they do. 2 final questions. You know, many years ago when you were pursuing the dream, what was the scariest thing that you've had to endure in that pursuit? I would say, you know, in all honesty, probably managing one's finances when you are following your heart and doing something that you believe in. You know, not having a regular day job to provide a paycheck to pay the mortgage, for example. When you are a winery owner, taking on the responsibility of a small business and having employees and working your heart out every day, I think that for me the scariest thing was actually just making it balance at the end of the day and being able to pay one's bills and go to sleep at night knowing that everything is covered. I was just going to say, and then to follow that up with, what would you recommend to anybody watching if they currently aren't in their dream job? How would you tell them and encourage them to say, you need to pursue your dream job and this is why? You only live once, and I wanted to make an impact on my life that that meant something, so that at the end of the day, people who knew me said, yeah, Jon Phillips, he actually followed his heart. He's an inspiration. He started a winery from scratch. He did it on his own without really any historical family heritage behind it. And it may be a cliche, but I think that the American dream is still possible today. And if you work hard enough, you can make it happen.
Sounds good to me. Pursue your dreams, follow your inspiration, and celebrate with great wine.